Hey everybody, what's up from Roll, Minnesota, your state of skate. Hey, I'm Butch Lehman, and today we're in for another episode of Rolling Reactions. Now today we're featuring a skater who took a break from skating for a few years but came back stronger than ever. And I know that's a theme for a lot of bladers out there, but today we're talking about Jake Dotson. And one of the videos that I watched years and years ago that just blew my mind was his part in Next in Line. And that video was fantastic. Since then, I've been a major Jake Dotson fan, and today we're going to sample some of his street work. Then maybe in the future, we'll take a look at some of his park skating, because he is one of the best park skaters that I've ever seen. Some legendary edits there as well. So anyway, we're going to start out by taking a look at his Next in Line profile. Then we'll bump it up to his return in 2020 with a promo video he did for Celtic frames. And then lastly, a video that he recently put out with Context brand, and that one is also a banger. So anyway, guys, I invite you to join me as we watch some Jake Dotson skating. Let's check it out. All right, part number one is Jake Dotson's profile in Next in Line. And this was a really great video. It kind of went under the radar for a lot of people, but a lot of talent in this particular video and a lot of good traditional like down rail style skating. And Jake Dotson definitely had the spin tricks down, unlike anybody I've seen. And he really doesn't have a switch or a regular. In fact, I think he's one of the few people that has managed to get through all 16 variations of 360 acid grinds at a skate park. I believe it was just him and Richie Eisler, as far as I'm aware. But you can already see he's just putting it to use on rails here. We got the 3 topsoul left-footed. I think later, yeah, like right here, hurricane topsoul with the right foot. So he's showing it off both ways. And some really great switch-up skating here as well. Going to the true top porn and back. This is another one. You got the 360 the hard way into acid grind. And that's one that I've always struggled with, is the alley-oop fish brain. For me, true spin fish has always been a more comfortable trick, and I know that's maybe a bit blasphemous for a lot of skaters out there. But I've always felt like in these early days that Jake Dotson was like a mini version, a younger version of Brian Aragon. He just had that really smooth, compact style, and the way he was able to consistently land these types of tricks is something I really admire, and something that I'm still to this day a little bit envious of, if I'm being honest. Nice long hold on the alley-oop topsoul. Look at this ledge. He's out skating in the rain, and I can't imagine how much more difficult that would make it, especially since it was over dirt. Anytime you fall, you'd land and probably get your frames and your wheels packed with dirt, and then, you know, the ledge isn't going to slide as good. Some traditional down rail skating right there. Really legendary spot here. I'm not sure what this spot is, but pretty much everybody has destroyed that spot at some point or another. Really tough unity variation. We'd call that the true spin alley-oop unity or something like that. Forget I said anything. I know that's already going to be controversial. True spin Savannah. Maybe it's that. Look at that. He did the 360 soul both ways, spinning both directions. Like I said, it's hard to determine what his switch and regular are. Really clean into the kind grind there. A lot of legendary spots here, actually. Now, I know I was really excited to see Jake Dotson make his return in 2020, and that's, like I said, kind of the theme with a lot of skaters now, is we've got a lot of these original skaters, these pro skaters coming back, and it's like they never left. They don't have to like relearn all their tricks. It just seems to click. Going hurricane top porn. I always love the hurricane top sides. Those are some really good looking tricks. Finishing it out with the big 180 gap. All right, we're moving on to 2020. This was the Celtic edit for Celtic Frames, one of the sponsors that Jake picked up. And I think one of the things you'll notice is like the tricks are all still there. He still has that technicality and that smoothness. But his style, I think, has really solidified since coming back. He seems a lot more smooth, a lot more consistent, even more creative with some of his spot selections and trick variety. Really clean there on the alley-oop unity or the front Savannah. That's a switch up we saw in his last profile from Next in Line. This is a really cool ledge setup that he's skating here. Got the elevated ledge, the tiered ledges like stairs. Opens up a lot of possibilities for lines like this and different ledge transfers. These types of rails, these shotgun rails, a little bit scary. I mean, on the one hand, when you land on it, if you miss, you can kind of slide down like a box. But I've seen too many people get a foot caught in the middle, and I've never experienced that myself. I hope never to in the future. This rail looks just about perfect, minus the weird stair sticking out midway through. Again, got that alley-oop topsoul. The trick, once again, that he's bringing back from his earlier days and still able to do. That one I really like. Outspin top horn. Those outspins are a little bit more complicated because you have to spin away from the rail. And on outspin top horn and outspin sweaty in particular, easy to over-rotate and miss the rail. Interesting cross grab there. Looked like it was between the legs or behind the back. I'd have to rewind that one back, but that was pretty cool. Faked me out on that one, going over the rail to the down part of the ledge, and that's that creativity that I was talking about earlier. Bringing a lot of speed into that topsoul. And I don't know if I've ever seen a more perfect looking sea ledge than this one. I think this is at a skate park because it looks like it has angle iron on it, but still, if I had that to skate, I don't know if I'd really need much else. Really nice looking kink rail too. Super mellow. Got another trick on it here. Top acid. Going to back farv. Looks like it's a little bit wet outside where you skate. Oh, geez. That is not a fun fall. You guys have all probably gotten the skater hips too, where rail session just isn't a session until you get your hip check in. Now, you guys will have to correct me on this, but I believe Jake Dotson is from the Seattle area, and I think Josiah Blee is out there as well. And really cool crew out there, and they've produced some really great profiles and sections. That's a really hard technical trick right there. Full alley-oop topsoul. Very difficult one to lock into. Speaking of which, 540 kind grind, that's a good way to end a section. Yeah, the open mouth is appropriate there. Like I was saying, that whole crew, really great group of skaters, producing a lot of content too, a lot of great videos, and I would definitely recommend you to check some of those out if you haven't before, because you really won't be disappointed. I promise you that. All right, finally we'll wrap it up with the most recent section that Jake has produced, and this is for Context Brand, which admittedly I don't know much about Context Brand, but I have heard of this videographer, Nico Sotomayor. He's produced a number of different sections and video parts. Really great editor and cinematographer. Love his work. And check this out, transferring up to soul grind, 3 topsoul, rolling away perfectly. What a way to start out an edit. Then we got this out ledge, and these are actually a lot more difficult to skate than maybe people realize because they're actually taller than a handrail. Check this out, alley-oop acid, drop down, full alley-oop topsoul. And if you remember in the previous video, he did a full alley-oop topsoul, but that one was with the left foot. This one was with the right foot. So once again, showcasing that technical dexterity, being able to do things switch and regular. Does he even have a switch? I don't know. Outspin sweaty, tough trick there. Cool spot for it. I like the color coordination here. He's got the green tank top matching the green Jeff Howard Pro skates. Really like those skates, by the way. They come with like glow-in-the-dark wheels. See the little tap there on the way out, fast plant. Got the crew, they're all just relaxing, hanging out. That really is one of the best parts of skating, is those just down moments with all the friends, the interaction, the social aspect. Goes up and over the rail, then brings it back into the bank. 360. Second time's the charm here. We'll exit with a little 180. Not a massive gap, but flowing really well in the line. This is an interesting handrail spot. So it looks like it's multiple separate kink rails that are in a line, but you know, it's weird that it wouldn't have just been one long kink rail. Whoever was the architect behind that, missed opportunity. Yeah, you always got to keep a broom with you when you go to street spots. Preferably an actual push broom. I have just like a little hand broom that I keep in my parts bag. Transfer over. Ooh, to top acid. Once again, left foot to right foot on that one. Pretty scenic spot right there. Oh, was this zero spin Liu Kang? Yeah. Zero spins don't get as much love as they deserve. You know, a lot of people will do the 180s, 540s, but there's something about rolling up fakie and then landing fakie, maybe throwing a little shifty into it that I really admire. So anyway, really great section from Jake Dotson. Props. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Rolling Reactions featuring Jake Dotson. Now, here was a guy that stepped aside for a few years, took a couple of years off from inline skating, came back in 2020, and has been on an absolute tear ever since. And I know that from watching the level of skating that he's bringing to the table, the technicality, the consistency, the style, that he's deserving of every bit of recognition he's received since his return. I know he's got sponsors in Razor Skates, Celtic Frames, Context Brand, perhaps a few other sponsors that I'm forgetting. But even as a viewer of his from a long time, going back all those years to his part in Next in Line, I was blown away. And, I'm not giving that compliment lightly. So Jake, thank you for your return to skating. Looks like you're killing it. Hope you continue to do so. Most importantly, looks like you're having fun, and that's the most important thing. Anyway, guys, I'm Butch Lehman of Roll, Minnesota, reminding you to stay safe, stay healthy, and get out there and do some blading. We'll see y'all with the next video. Till then, peace, everybody.